Okay, this is going to be my second rant on religion. Um, my experience with religion in my life. I got saved at a Youth for Christ convention in Toronto, Canada, when I was 17 years old. Um, and it became a very long adventure. Um, going through the different phases of things. One of the things that gets me is that my family is charismatic. My whole family goes to the same church that they've been going to since before I was born. They're stuck in the mud, and they hate me because they're stuck in the mud, and I have been wandering the world. Um, so that's a problem right there. Um, but one of the things that gets me is the way um, the Christians that I hang around with treat other people. You know, I've had friends from all different backgrounds. I had a really, really, really great friend who was from Tehran, Iran. I've lost track of him. It happened when he went to a college and he moved away, went to a college, and I was going through a divorce, and so I lost track of him and still can't find him. I hope he didn't get deported. But I am one of the things that gets me is that I went to a Baptist church for 7 years, and you know they were, I mean, really strict, really stupid. You know, rock and roll was bad and all this kind of stuff, and um, they actually hooked me up with my with they hooked me up with Kathy. They said there were two girls in the single girls in the church that were worth marrying. Uh, and they were both of those girls were a nightmare. And I ended up with one of them for a while, but they were both a nightmare anyway. But what I don't get is that um, I go to these churches and they keep telling me about Catholics and Mormons and things like that. And the thing is my ex-wife um, is Catholic, was Catholic, but it wasn't because she was Catholic that I'm divorced from her. There's a whole slew of other reasons. But my best friend in the whole wide world, even now, someone who will do anything for me, is an Italian Catholic. And so I come up here to Wisconsin, and I tried to go to two different churches. One was in McQuantico, um, and I needed some help. I needed some help with one. This you're not gonna believe how stupid this problem was. I had a storage facility I was paying $75 a month for, and all I wanted was someone to loan me a truck to get my stuff out of there, so that I wouldn't have to pay $75 a month anymore for this storage facility. And the first church I was at, I would have conversations with one of the assistant pastors, and he just looked at me like I was a mild curiosity. He would talk to me every week. He would talk to me. He'd sit down and talk to me, but then anytime I asked him for anything, he wouldn't do not do it. He wouldn't do it. He would do nothing. Um. So then I moved down here, and then I ended up in the thriving metropolis of Burlington, Wisconsin. This place is awful. The people are mean. They're so indifferent. They just, I mean, So I'm going to this church that advertises themselves on the internet as being like the best place to go. And everybody there is so indifferent. You would go and have a conversation with them. Um, Someone, I mean, once with a pastor and once with an elder, I was sitting there just talking, just casually talking about something that happened to me, this week. And 30 seconds into the conversation, they just turned around and walked away. And it was like they were zombies. It's not like they were being disrespectful. It's just like everybody here is just so indifferent. Like 30 seconds into a conversation and they're bored and they walk away. So anyway, I had to pull tooth and nails to get just one person to be a good Christian and help me with a truck to get my stuff out of the storage lot. It took me 9 months. Now, I don't know how I ended up here in Wisconsin. I really don't. Everybody keeps asking me. I ran away from home. I just wanted to go someplace where I'd never been before, and I didn't realize how culturally different that this place is going to be from Ohio. I mean, you wouldn't think that Wisconsin would be so culturally different from Ohio, but it is. Um, but anyway, there's this guy. I'm getting back to my original plan here on this. There's this guy who sits in the McDonald's. I'm not going to say his name, but he sits in the McDonald's at Burlington. He has a place he sits all the time. And all he does is rant and rave about Jesus. And that's nice. That's cool. I mean, it's fine. But he's crazy. He's one of those people who believes that the Earth is only 6,000 years old and that man walked with dinosaurs and all that crap. And and you even mention the word Catholic or Mormon, and he just starts going off. Um, but what I don't understand is the fact that I have more Catholic friends. I had my best friend in high school is Catholic. My best friend right now is an Italian Catholic. My ex-wife was Catholic. Um, I have a really good friend on the internet that I've never met, but I've been friends with him for over 10 years on the internet, who's a Mormon, and he cracks me up. I just I don't get it. I don't, and anyway, um, I have questions that aren't answered, and I want to believe, you know, I have a roommate who actually is a pretty good friend. Um, he's he he's like he thinks he's a prophet, but he thinks he's going to go to hell because he doesn't think he's a Christian. And he told me to my face. He said well, he said no, he didn't say it to me. He told to someone else. He said Marty's going to go to heaven because God's going to fix him before he dies. Like, okay, whatever that means. But anyway, um, just me ranting again. Benjamin Zechariah Garrett, Milwaukee's best ice, younger than yesterday. Goodbye.